Hi guys, how are you? So long time no speak. Today I want us to talk about my breastfeeding journey. I successfully breastfed my baby for the first 6 months exclusively without any other additional feed. Was it easy? No, but we managed with the tips that I'm going to share in this video, so make sure that you watch until the end. After the 6 months, I continued with breastfeeding until she was 20 months, and I did not stop willingly because I had psyched myself up that I was going to get to the 24 month, but I traveled for a week to the coast, and by the time I came back, she had gotten her independence and she was no longer interested in my boobs, and we thank God because she's still okay, and that was good enough. Now, let's talk about what the guidelines say about breastfeeding. Breast milk is the preferred feed for your infant because it contains the right and appropriate nourishment, nutrient compositions that support growth and development, immune function, gut functionality, cognitive development. Like, there's data to support that babies who are exclusively breastfed for the 6 months and with continued and supported breastfeeding for the next 2 years have better cognitive performance in school. And for the naysayers, we have a lot of influencers actually promoting breast milk substitute, mixed feeding, because according to them, their mothers gave them ujis, their mothers gave them milk, their mothers gave them food by the time they were 3 months, and they are still okay. We need to understand that the fact that they did something wrong and they actually turned out okay does not make it right. Your mom was not ignorant, they were not deaf to the data or such. It was not available. As I was telling you, I was in a social event the other day. There was a mom of 2. She's a lawyer, so the credibility from the society is really a lot, and then she was there encouraging an expectant mom that it is okay to formula feed the baby. No, it is not. WHO and UNICEF have actually come out clearly on the dangers. It is highly discouraged unless necessary. Necessary is a case where the mom has passed on, and that is where we come in to actually modify feeds to ensure that if that baby is on formula, it is sustainable and such, but it is not recommended. And that is why we had establishment of breast milk banks like in Pumwani, and I think we need to ensure that we are championing, encouraging, and actually promoting for such, so that those moms who actually pass on while delivering, the babies can still access wet feeding or access to milk banks that actually supply human milk that has been shown to be the best feed for our infants. So let's talk about some of the challenges that I encountered while breastfeeding. So one of the things that I got really stressed about was the nipple pain. When I was initiating and normalizing breastfeeding, it was very painful to actually breastfeed my baby with the sores. I could not use a nipple cream because I did not want my baby suckling that, so I would actually use shea butter. Before breastfeeding, I will wipe it again, get a damp cloth, try to express some milk, apply it on the nipple, and then breastfeed the baby, and just cross my fingers and my legs that I am going to sustain the pain. Fortunately, once the latching actually established, the pain goes away. Because I remember, even for me, who was a dietitian, who's a professional, as a first-time mom, I still had challenges because I used to wonder if now the practicality of what we teach is actually possible. And on my second day in the hospital, because I was released after the second day, breastfeeding had been initiated and it was successful. And by week 1, my nipple sores were done. So what I'm trying to say is that if you experience nipple sores, you can use some nipple cream, or you can use shea butter, or you can even use the breast milk, and then you work on latching. It actually helps a lot. And of course, another challenge that I actually got was the fact that I had to wake up a lot in the middle of the night, and I was not getting enough sleep for the first 3 months. That is a common problem that makes women, or actually makes mom, actually look for alternatives or even practice mixed feeding, because you want to rest, you want to sleep longer. There is always that aunt or that relative that is telling you that your baby is not feeding enough, that is why he or she is not able to sleep through the night. Remember that this is an infant with a very tiny small stomach capacity, so they're not supposed to sleep through the night, otherwise they will be underfeeding. We actually encourage that the baby is fed every 3 to 4 hours, and this means that for the 9 hours that you're going to sleep, you're going to wake up at least 3 times. And And of course, you all understand people are different. Like, I will not wake up and just go back to sleep immediately. There's someone who has that strength. Me, I can't. So I would wake up, stay awake. By the time I'm needed to go back to sleep, she's awake again. It was a mess. How I actually overcame this, I would pump, and then I would ask my mom to at least allow me to sleep at least 4 to 6 hours on a continuous. I would actually ensure that I feed the baby immediately I wake up. Then I would power pump to actually encourage my body to continue with milk supply, not to reduce it, because you see, if you sleep longer, like for 6 hours or for 7 hours without feeding, your body might start thinking that now we need to reduce the frequency of production when it comes to milk, and this will actually compromise the quantity of milk that your baby is going to get. And of course, there was that challenge of the fact that I was paranoid as a new mom, and if you know me, you know I'm the queen of paranoia. I will overthink about each and everything that happens. So my baby would cry a lot. Like, she'll be very comfortable during the day, then at night she would actually start crying. I experienced colic, and it was terrible on my end. I did all those things that we actually do. I got her the drip water, I got her the probiotics. I was actually doing cycling, but nothing seemed to be working, but eventually it went out. So I think when it comes to colic, there's nothing much that you can do. You have to just be patient and trust the process that it will actually go away, and just be calm. Try as much as you can to be calm, because even if they cry for like 20 minutes straight, because I know the cry can be frustrating, they will eventually sleep. So mine would actually cry for like 10 minutes continuously, then she would breastfeed seriously, then feed and sleep. By the time she was 1 month, I'd become a pro, I would say that, when it comes to breastfeeding, because I was feeding, the latching was perfect, like my milk supply was good, it was all good and pretty. So even the crying at night drastically reduced. By the time we were 3 months, I was actually enjoying motherhood. So I think what I'm trying to say is that we need to ensure that we are providing that support to you moms, and that is why I've created this video. And I promise that in my next pregnancy, I'll definitely document all those processes so that you can see it. I have seen amazing nutritionists actually create content on breastfeeding support while they are doing it, and that is great. We need to have that so that we can try and demystify all these negativities surrounding breastfeeding. I was comfortable, I was moving all over. Like, some people didn't even understand or didn't even know that I had a baby. And the narrative that has been sold, that you have to struggle, you have to suffer as a breastfeeding mom, it's okay for you to suffer. No, I did not suffer. I'm not saying that I had it easy. Like, I lived through breastfeeding, and it is possible, the right support. And of course, one of the other things that I actually ensured that I did was actually ensure that my nutrition was on point, my hydration was on point. And this is where I'm actually introducing you the sponsor of this video, that is basically Mama Lisha, that is a lactation support product that actually has galactagogues. If you're a mom, you're struggling with breastfeeding quantity and quality, you need to ensure that you get as much support as you can. In my breastfeeding coaching program, I actually ensure that I give you the options. If possible, I come and show you how to do it, and also come and show you how to prepare your meals, how to snack throughout the breastfeeding, because again, we don't want to blow up while breastfeeding. Because I think one of the things that actually encouraged me with breastfeeding is the fact that by week 6, I had already shared like more than 10 kgs. I was almost back to my pre-pregnancy weight. Do not ask me where the weight came from. It came after cessation of breastfeeding. We're going to talk about that a lot, because I want it to be a discussion. We are having in that group that I actually tell you about a sleepover, so I will try as much as I can to get the ladies to discuss about the weight gain after stopping to breastfeed, and we'll see if it actually just happened to me or it's something that has been happening to women without being conscious, because it is not talked about as much as it should. Anyway, so I was talking about the importance of proper nutrition when you're breastfeeding. Think about avocados, think about fenugreek, flax seeds, think about protein, think about quality carbohydrates, think about seeds, think about nuts, think about fruits and vegetables, all those things that you need. You can also do wheatgrass. I did that and I have it in stock. It's very safe for breastfeeding mom, because the quantities that I'm going to prescribe are not as much as for someone who's not breastfeeding, so they're not going to trigger detoxification, but they're going to support your metabolism, your liver function, and definitely lactation, energy flow, magnesium, and all that. We also have supplements that are tailored for breastfeeding moms, and of course, one of the best supplements that you can take as a breastfeeding mom is continue the prenatal supplements that you are taking during pregnancy. And you can also do an increased intake of protein. You can do collagen, because again, in Kenya we say mimba inabebewa kwa mgongo. That means if you don't take care of your intake, if you don't take care of your posture after childbirth, you're going to have issues with back pain. Do I have issues with back pain? No. I can wash like a serious ton of clothes and I'll still be okay. So I want to talk about the importance of hydration and proper self-care. As I have said in my previous videos, again, breast milk is like 70 to 90% water, and this means that we need to make sure that we are hydrating. One thing about me, I've never had challenges with drinking water, but I also understand the fact that there are people who have issues with taking water. So what you can do is actually, you can squeeze lemon, you can add cloves. I know some people find that taste very weird, but I don't mind it. You can also do like ginger or anything, or even cucumbers. You can even do oranges. You can take like the tangerines or the pixies or orange, and then you put them in your water to infuse that flavor, and then you continue drinking and sipping throughout the day, because you need to make sure that you are hydrated. Again, if you're taking something like now the oranges in the water, you're also increasing your intake of vitamin C. You can also do wheatgrass if you don't mind the taste, like I don't, but this one doesn't have it. This is just pure water, because I've taken my wheatgrass in the morning. I've taken some glutathione in the morning. I'm not trying to kill myself with supplements and remedies, so I'm just taking clean water for now to ensure I'm well hydrated before I can go to the gym. And we also need to make sure that we are promoting self-care. I know it's very easy for you to let go of yourself while you're breastfeeding. I am telling you, this is just what happened to me. Like, I did not buy a shoe, I did not buy a dress, I did not even buy anything for myself, I think within the first year of my baby's life. Like, my mom had to buy me shoes, she had to buy me a dress, and was like, you need to get out of there, because I was wearing daras and tights and t-shirts, and I'm out. Like, we need to normalize self-care. It actually helps. But I did not find it difficult, because I was gymming by the time my baby was 5 months. Yes, my friend started gymming where my shop was, and I joined her. So I started gymming then, and it was great for me. That was part of my self-care. I was going for walks every morning, because my mom would pass by my house before she went to work. So anytime that she will come in, I will leave her for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes with the baby, go for a walk in the morning by myself, without even the phone, just myself, my thoughts, the sun. It was very therapeutic, and I would actually encourage you as a new mom to do it, because it allows you to have some special time with yourself. You get to reconnect with yourself, you get to listen to yourself, and you can actually think without the worry of a baby. Of course, it also helped that my mom was around and I could leave her, and I was not worried about my baby, because I knew she would actually take care of her. Even now, like, I'm so comfortable with leaving my child with my mother. I can just leave completely and she'll be fine, but I'm not going to do that. Let's actually promote and prioritize self-care for new moms, and remember that if you need support to actually ensure that we are maintaining and we are supporting breastfeeding, make sure that you reach out. I have a coaching program. I will walk with you, I will be there with you, and we have supporting supplements, therapies, and feeds that actually support and encourage breastfeeding. As I have told you, we have Mama Lisha, a lactation support from Maestio Pharmaceuticals, that actually promotes and helps mothers actually establish, if you're struggling with breast milk flow, if you're struggling with quantity, Mama Lisha will actually help you, because it is rich in galactagogues that actually support and ensure proper lactation for you as a mom. In the coaching program, I will come up with a meal plan or a dietary adjustment for you and your family to ensure that we are in line, we are supplying you, the mom, with enough, and make sure that we are stabilizing your hormones, we are preventing the extra weight that comes with breastfeeding, because we want to make sure that you, the mom, is okay and the baby is getting enough. It is possible without compromising any of the two. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment of what worked for you as a new mom. How long did you actually continue with breastfeeding? And make sure that you check this playlist next on breastfeeding. It has insights on the challenges, overcoming them, some of the nitty-gritties that I have shared as a professional there, and I'll see you there. So until next time, bye.